Hi everyone, Jessica here from Paper Ink Stamp and welcome back to another card making video. So today we're going to be using the stamp set from Creative Stamping issue 88. This is the Floral Christmas and we're going to be creating a decorated, sort of like a Christmas gift box. And we're going to be using this Moonstone die set. This is the star-topped gift box. This is by Hunkydory. So we're going to be creating this box here, and like I said, we're going to create our own paper using then the stamps from the Creative Stamping magazine. So to colour in these images, I'm going to be using these Prism watercolour brush markers. So these aren't alcohol markers, these are water-based inks, so they're perfect for watercolouring. So I'm just going to show you all of the packs here so you can see sort of the full range. So they have a really fantastic range of colours in here, and like I said, perfect then for lots of different techniques. We're going to be using them as like a watercolour medium today, and we're just going to colour in then these stamped images. So I do end up using lots of different colours, but I have taken a few colours when I was just having a go, seeing what colours I wanted to use from this Antique Dreams set. But again, like I said, I do end up using lots of different colours. So to get started, the first thing we're going to do is obviously decorate our paper. So what I really love about like this Creative Stamping, especially because it's an A4 size, it's got loads and loads of different kinds of stamps in it. So not only can you make just cards, and toppers for your cards, you can make backgrounds. In the magazine, they've got loads of inspiration about, using the stamps in different ways, packaging and things like that. And that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. So again, think about using those stamps, especially if there's lots of little stamps, you can create the backgrounds, but think about then what you can use that for. You could use it for wrapping paper, obviously backgrounds for your cards. And like I said here today, this is going to be perfect if you've got small gifts that you're given at Christmas. But this box, of course, isn't Christmas themed. You could use this, birthdays, Easter, lots of different occasions. You'll be able to use a gift box like this, and then using stamps that coordinate with that sort of time of year or that occasion, I think is just going to work perfectly. So you can see I've got an A4 sheet of paper. This is 160 GSM. I probably would recommend using something a little bit heavier, just so the box is a little bit more sturdy, but this is the cardstock we're going to be using today. I'm just working out which stamped images I want to use. This box, the panels on it aren't huge, so I don't want to use too big of images where then you're not really going to see a lot of the images itself. So you could decorate the whole of this A4 sheet of paper. Any spares or scraps that you've got, you could obviously use on other projects. But today, just for sort of speed, really for this video, I'm just going to be decorating the area I'm going to be die cutting from. But I do make a mistake here. So that top die, that's your lid. You actually need to die cut 2 of those. So 1 base and 2 of the lids, and that will create your full lid. There are instructions obviously on the packaging. I just, for whatever reason, didn't look. I've made a few of these before, it just didn't cross my mind, so I've only left enough space, and I only obviously end up decorating enough space to cut one of those lid panels. So later on in the video, obviously when I come to construct it and I realise, because then I didn't have enough of the paper decorated, I did then just die cut the lid from some plain red cardstock. I still think the box looks really beautiful, but it would have been nice to have had that sort of all over pattern. But for now, we're just going to go in and decorate the backing paper to create our box. So I end up using only 3 stamps from this stamp set. So again, there's so many different images in here, and it was kind of difficult really to pick which ones I wanted, but I didn't want to have too many sort of white gaps in between the stamps, so I did pick one of these sort of medium-sized one. It's got 2 acorns, it's got some foliage in there, it's got a couple of berries and things, so I thought it was just a really all-over great stamp to use. So I'm using some VersaFine Onyx Black ink, because obviously we're going to be using those watercolours to colour in, and I'm literally just going to create an all-over pattern. I did it at this time, I only had 2 stamps, and I thought, oh, well, I don't want it to look too sort of the same, so I did end up bringing in just the stamp of the bunch of berries, and I just thought that kind of broke it up really nicely, and again it added a little bit more colour into our background. So I just go sort of back and forth between the 3 images. You can see I've got them on separate acrylic blocks, which just makes it really, really easy to then go again back and forth from the images. And just randomly kind of, going in different angles, just in with the spaces, and just really kind of filling these up. So, you don't have to be kind of too precise, obviously coming off the edge there of where I'm going to be die cutting, but you still don't want to have too much white gaps in between your stamped images. Just because then when you try and figure out the places where you want to die cut from, you don't end up then with too much kind of just white space. So even just stamping, you know, this small section here, I just think this is going to look absolutely brilliant, you know, for wrapping paper if you want something to match, you know, if you're doing this gift box, or again, if you're doing a gift and a card. I just think it would be so beautiful having everything match. You could even then decorate the envelope as well, like we've done. I did that in my previous video, the one before that, which was the newest issue of Simply Cards and Papercraft. We decorated the card and the envelope, so it all matched together. And I think then if you were giving it a gift as well, you could literally just match everything. So now we're going to get started just doing some colouring. So this is, like I said, we're using these brush markers. I'm guessing you could use them directly onto the paper, but I've not really experimented kind of too much with it at the moment. But I've just put some on just an acrylic block. You could use, you know, if you've got a glass mat, you could pop it on your glass mat. I've just popped it on an acrylic block here. Just wetting the brush again, just like regular watercolouring, and really just colouring it in. So what I'm going to do is do really basic colouring. I'm not being particularly careful here either. I just wanted to have that kind of watercolour, sort of a little bit of a messy kind of look. I'm not, so like here colouring in the berries, I'm not making sure that I, you know, get every single bit of it. I'm colouring it in perfectly. I've still got some white spaces. And again, then when you sort of take the colour from the acrylic block the first time, gets a little bit darker. After that, then it sort of lightens up a little bit. I just think it makes a really sort of more of a natural look, and makes it look a little bit more like it is, you know, actual wrapping paper or actual patterned paper. I just think it looks really good. So you can see most of it's coloured in now. I'm just going in with a darker brown, and I go in with a darker green as well, just to add a little bit of, sort of a little bit more depth to the images, so to those like holly leaves. It just adds a little bit of shadow. And again, I was just kind of going for that really sort of simple watercolouring look. And I have to say, I'm really pleased with our result. So I wasn't really planning to do anything else to this background, but I did worry a little bit by the time we came to die cut, if we had more white areas and perhaps what we wanted, then, you know, would it look a little bit sort of plain. So what I decided to do was have just a little bit of paint splatter in the background, and just to add a little bit of sort of Christmassy glitter to it. So I've taken, this is one of the Cosmic Shimmer sort of pearlescent powders. This has got sort of a hint of gold in it. So I just took one paintbrush, added it, just a scoop of it onto, again, my acrylic block. And I took another brush, this was the one I was using to watercolour with, and I've just added some water to it. And I'm just going to do some sort of paint splatters. So you need to be really careful when you do sort of paint splatters and things like that, because it does kind of get everywhere. So I've just put a little bit of barrier because I've got my laptop in front of me. I obviously don't want to get anything on there. And I'm just taking an acrylic block. Where I've watered it down, obviously it does flick really nicely. You can't see anything here, but I will hold it up to the light in a second. And I'm just flicking it off the edge of this acrylic block, and I just think this works really well. So I will just put my torch on it, so hopefully you can see that gold splatter. So it just, again, adds something to that background where you do have those white spaces, and again, if we die cut where you've got a little bit more of the white space, hopefully it won't just look white. You'll have that really lovely sort of gold sparkle. Again, give it something, just a little Christmas touch. So the next thing we're going to do is line up our dies, but I don't want to just sort of die cut anywhere. I want to take a look at what's going to be cut. So I'm looking at these bottom panels, these 6 panels, and I'm just thinking about what you're going to see on each of those panels. I don't want there to be too much white space. I want you to be able to see the really beautiful images that we spent time stamping and colouring. So it might be worth just spending a little bit of time, you know, sort of moving your dies around and sort of finding the best placement. As I said at the beginning, I completely forgot that I was supposed to die cut 2 of these pieces here. That you can see the die I'm just moving around. This then will create your lid. So obviously not got enough space to die cut 2, so I do just die cut 1 out of some red cardstock after. But again, just spend a little bit of time thinking about where you want your dies to go. So I've run this through my die cutting machine, so it's got all of the score marks that you need, and it's super, super quick and easy to construct. So you've got the base here, and you've got then your flaps, which is what you're going to pop your double-sided tape onto. I'm going to use some red liner tape. Obviously this is one of the stronger adhesives, and it'll just really help keep your box together. So this really now is the point when I realised I needed to die cut 2 of them. But like I said before, it's a bit of a shame because I was looking forward to having the lid and the box match, but I do still really love the box because you've got that really beautiful pattern along the side and then that plainer lid. So again, there's full instructions in the packaging itself. You've got picture images, you've got sort of word instructions. It's really, really fantastic instructions they've got included. But really simply, we are going to put some double-sided tape. There's a flap on one of the ends that will attach your sides together, and then just to attach your base, all you need to do is on the right side of your cardstock, you're going to put some double-sided tape or adhesive, whatever you're going to use, and then simply match up the side panels of your box with the flaps at the bottom. So I stick down the one that's just to the left-hand side of the base, then I go and sort of do the rest of it. And then you just got to be careful that you make sure you get your base flap and then your side flap sort of together in that right space. And that literally is your box constructed. So really, really is so simple. Like I said, you've got the directions in the packaging itself. So, you know, if you are looking for a gift box, these are one of their newer dies that they've brought out. I just think this makes the most beautiful box. And I do think, hopefully, fingers crossed, planning to get married next year, I am thinking that these are going to make such a perfect wedding favour boxes. Or if you've got, you want to do something a little bit different with your place names, maybe you could make these for each person. There is a tag die included. I'll show you the other dies just at the end. There is a tag die, so you could pop their name on there. So many things that you could use this this gift box for. So you can see I've got my lid panels here, and I cut them just out of some regular red cardstock. I didn't want to do the white cardstock and stamp on it again because I just felt like it's not going to flow as well as our base. So I just decided to do it out of some plain. I did use that same Cosmic Shimmer pearlescent powder, just again to make the lid a bit more interesting, make it fit in a little bit more. And I think even just those splatters really gave it just what it needed just to make it pop a little bit. So to construct the lid, you've got a flap to the left-hand side of the die, just some double-sided tape or your adhesive on that, and then all you need to do is attach the 2 pieces, 2 ends together, and that creates your actual lid base, if you like. So to create the star at the top and to bring this whole lid together, so this isn't designed to be open and closed, it's just together. But I've sewed it down here. Hopefully you'll be able to sort of see exactly what I'm doing. So with your first piece, you're going to put it down, and then your piece to the left, so you're going to work clockwise, and you're going to then basically just kind of tuck that in behind. As you sort of see it coming together, you can see exactly where it needs to go, but it literally just sort of slots in behind, and that creates your star-topped lid. So again, I've slowed that bit down, so if you want to go back and sort of rewatch it, if you've got this die, not 100% sure, obviously rewatch that sort of section. But that is basically our box all completely finished. I just think it makes the most adorable box, and there's loads and loads of different decorations that are included in this gift box die set. So you've got panel pieces. So some of them, you know, like this piece here, you've got 2 together, so you need to die cut that 3 times rather than 6 times. You've got a strip that'll go around the, I think it goes around the lid actually. You've got this little tag piece here, again, that I mentioned earlier, but you've got stars, you've got sort of, you know, Christmassy themed things here. Lots and lots of different sort of embellishments to be able to decorate this box. But I really actually love how this has come out. I've made a few of these boxes before. This is obviously just the one piece that I die cut, and I really do, I was planning to put some ribbon around the lid, and it's such a shame that I didn't really think about it, because I thought that would have looked really, really lovely having that matching lid and base. But I'm really happy with the way that this box has come out. Again, I think this is going to be absolutely perfect for Christmas, birthdays, really any time of year. It's just a really great overall die, you know, to have in your stash, I think. So I will pop a link to it in the description box down below. But that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed seeing just a few different products and newer products in there. And again, just another way of using that creative stamping free gift. But really, you could do this with any of the free magazine gifts that you get. Again, you can make a box like this, or wrapping paper, or an envelope, whatever it might be, and you can tailor it to a specific time of year or a specific occasion with the stamps that you've got in your stash. So like I said, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, if you like this box, please give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below if you want to. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. So thanks very much for watching, and happy crafting.